Sure.
Okay, great. Thank you. So good afternoon once again. Welcome to today's webinar. Today we'll be speaking about deep dive into free Microsoft Copilot AI mobile app and low code. We are pleased to have all of you join us today, and we'll be exploring how Microsoft Copilot can transform our approach to hello?
Yeah, hello, can hear you.
Okay, great. To developing, communicating, and working with Microsoft products. So throughout the webinar, we are aiming to equip everybody with the knowledge and tools to leverage Microsoft Copilot effectively in your professional endeavors. So now that we've set the stage and learned a bit about what awaits us, I'm going to introduce our distinguished speakers and tell you about their expertise and their insights. Today, we are privileged to have Chime Okure. I hope I mentioned it right.
Yeah, that's great.
And oh, wonderful. And then we'll have Frederick Anaafi. I think we've had him for a previous webinar. So Chime is a dynamic MS certified trainer. He's known for his unwavering passion for tech, and he has a keen interest in sharing knowledge, dedicating himself to empowering others to learn faster and to enhance their productivity. He specializes in leveraging low-code and no-code platforms to assist businesses in automating their processes, and that makes him a very valuable asset in the realm of technology-driven innovation. So you can just imagine how much expertise he has to offer us today. And we have Fred. Fred is not new to webinars that I've hosted in the past. He is joining us from Ghana, and he's a seasoned data analytics leader with over a decade of experience in supporting B2C organizations to achieve very high revenue targets. He's also the CEO of Fred Excel Consult, which is a distinguished training consultancy in Ghana here. He is committed to fostering data-driven culture, and he has expertise in Excel, Microsoft Suite, CompTIA, and many other tools. He's also an expert in improving the structure and efficiency of data management systems, and he's always available for consulting with organizations or individuals. My name is Ifa Sumini. I'm a member of the Microsoft D365 and Power Platform community, which is hosting this webinar today. And I also double as an administrator for Frederick Anaafi Consult. It's my pleasure to serve as your host for today's webinar. I'm looking forward to guiding you through this entire learning experience. So now that we have a glimpse of the expertise and passion of our speakers, let's dive deeper into the background and insights. So we'll be hearing directly from Frederick and Chime. So without further ado, please, either Chime or Fred, you can take over the platform and I'll come in at any time when you need me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ifa, for the good work done. So I'll move straight to how the program will go. Definitely, Chime Okure will do he's the main speaker for this particular DAG meetup for Ghana. So I'll just go through the agenda. And we're expecting DAG highlights from Liz. I was expecting her to join, but I guess she couldn't join. So I'll talk a little bit about the DAG Ghana community. Definitely, it's a dynamic user group in Ghana community. Our main aim is to upskill, to encourage each other to learn about Microsoft Dynamics 365, Power Platform, and also MS 365. And we want to build a community where we learn from each other. So today we have Chime Okure, who is going to really deep dive into how to use free Microsoft Copilot AI mobile app in low code. And he will be leading us in that. After that, we'll have some open discussion concerning the topics and what we want to do in terms of the group for Q2, 2024 in-person meeting. And let me also set some ground rules in here that as much as we are in the community, we should respect the opinions of each other. And in terms of as this meeting goes on, the rules are we mute our microphone when we are not speaking. We should stay engaged. We should respectfully participate and at least communicate. At the end, there will be Q&A if there's any question. And the main agenda for this is we all want to learn from each other and reskill, upskill, and gain knowledge. That's the main agenda for this community. So without much ado, I'll now let Chime take over and really dive us deep into Microsoft Copilot AI. Thank you very much. So Chime, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Frederick. Thank you, Afua, for that introduction. I will share my screen.
Okay, so let me just drop.
Yeah. 1 second. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so just like you mentioned, this is, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I said, just like you mentioned, this is a deep dive into Microsoft Copilot AI, just showcasing those AI functionalities that we do have now, and also it's more around the AI functionalities within Power Platform low code. So that's where this deep dive or this presentation is really going to be focusing on. Okay, and also yes, we do have Microsoft 365, AI copilots. We also touch into not into much detail, but we also obviously talk about them as well. Okay. So the next slide, just as the introduction said, yeah, my name is Chime. I'm a Microsoft MVP for business applications, and I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer. I work in London, UK, as a functional consultant, as a senior functional consultant for Power Platform. And also I've got my details here. Like I said, just feel free to, feel free to contact me or write to me if you want to obviously find out about more other opportunities or possibilities within the Power. So let me come back here. 1 second. Can you hear me now, guys? Can you hear me? Can anybody? Yeah, can you hear me?
We hear you. We hear
Yeah,
you.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I'm getting some echo behind the scene. Anyway, this is the introduction. Like I said earlier, before we started, sometimes my internet connection do drop. So just the best way to do this is to turn off my camera. So I'll be turning it off on every now and again. Okay. So let's dive into the agenda for this session. As you can see, yes, I've got my agenda, like, what's the introduction? What is actually Copilot? What is Copilot all about? We'll come down into an overview of all the Microsoft 365 Copilots and what are those relevant and the key benefits of Microsoft Copilots, okay? We also look into Copilot for low code. So this is around the Power Platform landscape. So we look into things like, Power Automate, our Canvas and model-driven apps, and also our Power Pages as well, yeah, and Power Automate, yeah. And we now have Microsoft Copilot mobile apps. So for your iOS or for your Android, you can also have this Copilot once you download them on your mobile applications, and that's for free. But you also have like the paid service, which is called the Copilot Pro. Like, yeah, you have to pay just like ChatGPT, so you can get more benefits and more functionalities with the Copilot. And then afterwards, I'll go through like a live demo. I'll be able to build a custom Copilot, which is what we call the Microsoft Copilot Studio. So you can build your own Copilots, right? So I will go in towards that demo and show you how we can create our own customized Copilots. And then there will be time for questions and answers. Yeah. And we'll go through some of those topics as well. I can talk about Copilots. Things have changed. world is fast changing. Yeah, the way things are. Last 2 years, I would say 2, 3 years, like COVID times, like, things around us have, changed rapidly. Yeah. Organizations, like, human beings, we need to adapt very quickly. Yeah. So there's a lots of things that we need to adapt to now. If you look back a couple of years ago, most organizations, like, most users have also invested a lot into their digital foundation. Like, they know what to do. Obviously, the pandemic came, it disrupted a lot of things. And yeah, now we're seeing those organizations, like those users, coming stronger, coming out with, serious tech. Yeah. So we believe, like, yes, there's a lot of inflection, I would say inflection point today that we're seeing. The pressures of today are very different when it comes to global, when it comes to industries. The world is becoming, like, more connected. You guys are in Ghana, I'm like in the UK, we're communicating, like, like we can see each other, like, like we're with each other. So a lot of things, a lot of I would say, like, the world has shrunk. Yeah. The pace has not slowed down, and it's not going to slow down. Hence, we have, like, this new, I would say, technology now, where there's lots of digital enhancements within in organizations, right? We work with Dynamics 365, we work with Power Platform. There's a lot of AI transformation that we're seeing now. Yeah, the technology is advancing. There's a much more potentials for, like, real meaningful impacts in the society. Yeah. So right now, the opportunity is for me, the opportunity is there for yourself in order to be able to upscale and transform within this AI, within this AI era, I would say. But let me ask you one question, like, how would organizations seize the potential of this AI transformation? Seize the potential at the same time, safeguarding their business, at the same time safeguarding their data, and at the same time safeguarding the employees, right? We all heard about, people going to lose their jobs and things like that. Not really, I would say. I have this word that I usually say is, AI is not going to take your jobs, but not knowing AI might probably take your job. Yeah. So we've come to this full circle of where, yes, we're now using AI and low code, and we can see the synergy between the two for the future. Yeah. We have a company called Gartner. Gartner obviously goes and looks at all this technology, like, globally, and come out with, what percentage, what do they think about, this certain new type of tech. But you can see on the screen there, you can see, like, low code, which is the Power Platform Dynamics landscape. There's more than 65, I think more than that actually now, % of application development that is going to happen just using AI and low code by second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter of 2024. And it's not going to stop. It's not slowing down. There are lots of things. There are lots of things, like, from yesterday, from the day before yesterday. Today is the Super Bowl's game in the US, which is quite a very big game, like, in America. And you can see, like, Microsoft coming to the forefront. They're putting out adverts in the Super Bowl, like, talking about low code, talking about AI, talking about copilots. It's quite big. So there's lots of big things that is going to be happening in this landscape. Okay. So it's for us to just be aware and apply ourselves. There's lots of learning resources that are cropping up from Microsoft Learn, for example, that people can just go in and start, learning aggressively this technology. So that brings us into what is actually Copilot. Yeah, what is it? Yeah. So just that the name simplifies, pilot, co-pilot, you're flying an airplane, somebody beside you is your co, yeah? So, but in this case, it's just literally like an advanced AI assistant that is designed, just to help us with our daily tasks, just to help, human beings, just like, co-pilot helps a pilot when it's flying an airplane, Yeah. So similarly, just that this AI Copilot technology just acts as a supportive assistance. Yeah. When it comes to our data analytics, when it comes to our business, businesses, when it comes to helping us do all those mundane tasks that we do, like, something that can just assist, with complex tasks, something that can just come in and enhance our decision making. Yeah. So just like sometimes, a co-pilot will kind of like, help a pilot that's flying an aeroplane, make some insights, make some decisions. In this particular instance, a co-pilot can also analyze quite a vast amount of data. It can use that data, it can start identifying patterns within that data, and also it can also give you some suggestions and even do some predictions. I tried to type it into Microsoft Copilot today and say, okay, do you know who's going to win this AFCON final today? But let's wait and see what will happen. Okay. So Copilot just improves much about safety, much about efficiency, identifying errors in your code, for example. You can also suggest best practices for yourself and also ensure that there's automation within your business processes. Okay. At the same time, just like I said, just those repetitive tasks, write this email, respond to this, let me prepare this presentation, all those repetitive tasks that we do for our business day to day, we can just use, AI Copilots to automate those processes. Yeah. Then by using an AI Copilot to do these tasks, it just frees us, human beings to focus on more complex and more curative aspects of our work. Okay. So that's just in a nutcase what this Copilot, what is it? The word Copilot. Yeah. Think about pilot, think about airplane, yeah, help, assist, adapt to situations. This also brings us to the next slide that talks about Microsoft Copilots here now. So we're talking about, within Microsoft, we have this suite or collection of different AI-driven assistants. There's lots of them: Outlook, PowerPoint, SharePoint, Dynamics and things, Power Platform and things like that. As you can see within this wheel that we have here. So within our operating systems, it can even be things like, security can be our developer, like things like our GitHub, and there's AI assistance that enhances users' productivity and also efficiency across all these applications and platforms. Okay. So the whole idea of the Microsoft Copilot is, like I said earlier, just to assist with complex tasks. Yeah. Just all those helping us with our navigation, controlling our environment, our workflows, providing guidance, doing some suggestions, or automations, yeah, around a particular task. It can also be around enhancing our decision making, so we can use this Microsoft Copilots just to give out or look into insights into our decision making. It can be our data, it can be a document, it can be a website, for example, but it just helps us to identify patterns, just helps us to offer informed decisions as well. Okay. And we talk about, efficiency. We talk about, helping taking over our repetitive tasks. I'm not going to go through all this again, but yeah, you can understand the wide range of co-pilots within Microsoft stack. I mentioned GitHub. There's Microsoft 365 pilots, so all those Microsoft 365 co-pilots within our Office 365. Yeah, they're all there. Dynamics 365 when it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to customer service. We also have all this built in co-pilots. And then we talk about Power Platform, which is going to be the basis of our demo towards the end of our of this session. So I will also show you live demos of how this co-pilots work within our low-code stack as well. Yes, just mentioned, about Microsoft 365, but I just want to run down through all these applications one by one. Yeah. For example, Word. Yeah, we use Word all the time. So there's Copilot for Word, there's Copilot for Excel, there's Copilot for PowerPoint, and you also have Copilots for Outlook and even Teams. So Teams has got Copilots infused in them as well. So they can generate tests, they can generate tables in Word, they can summarize, they can draft emails in Outlook, and also they can just help you write your presentations. The good part around the Microsoft 365, me personally, Excel, not really a pro, I would say, but yeah, using Copilots to generate like my Python visualizations in Excel has been amazing. Yeah. Another question that I do come across or people do ask since this came about last year is Microsoft Copilot, is it free? Yeah. Yes, it's breaking barriers. It's now available. Yeah. About, a couple of weeks ago, going to, I think, a month. So it's now available for all businesses, for all sizes. There's no minimum seat capacity before you have to have a limited number of or a minimum number of users in order to have it. So there's now more assistance like for users, and it's free, right? Making Copilot accessible to people on businesses, yes, has helped or is helping. We've seen some of those that have started this study from very beginning. How has this really helped them? How has it helped their business? How has it helped when it comes to collaboration, when it comes to productivity? We can see the statistics are there. Yeah, it's been helping them. It's been helping organizations, do their work better, I would say. Yeah. So having Copilots integrated into, say, for example, Teams, it can be accessed by obviously millions of people as well every day. Having them integrated into your Word, your PowerPoints, yes, we can have that accessible to people. Okay. I'm not going to go into some of the latest updates in detail, but like I said, yeah, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 is now generally available. Small SME business can use that. It can, they've removed that 300 seats minimum. They've removed that now. As long as you have a license, E5 or E3, you can probably, you can get Microsoft 365 Copilot. Well, so there's also eligibility for education. So if you're into education, there's also eligibility for Copilots, for people in that area as well. But like I said, sales, customer service, if you want to get your Microsoft 365 Copilot, is even cheaper than before for you to get that. We're not going to go through all the pricing. This is not a licensing session, but yeah, you can also get Copilots for GitHub as well. So yeah, he also has his own prices as well. So there's lots and lots of benefits now for the Microsoft 365 Copilots as well. So look at some of them here as well. What they can do. What can they do? We'll talk about it. My Copilot for PowerPoint is all about presentations, right? Just helping you to create those highly designed presentations. It can help you do that. Excel, it can help you obviously make all those your visual dashboards, make your data more appealing. Outlook, we know it's all about email, help you draft your email, help you summarize your long emails as well. We talk about Teams, yes. So if you're on Microsoft Teams, it can actually help you create your meeting summaries. You can action items in real time if you're using Microsoft Teams as well, yeah. So it has changed, like I said, it has revolutionized the way businesses now work. And businesses now are more into or looking to increase their productivity and efficiency, and also at the same time, employee satisfaction. No employee wants to be doing mundane tasks every now and again, right? So these things have the ability to increase employees' productivity by 50% plus. Having this Microsoft 365 Copilots. Does work. I have a couple of videos about, like I said, I'm not going to show all of them, but I have them in learning resources. You can actually go and watch each and every video for this Microsoft 365 Copilots. Just to give you kind of like a flavor, I will play one for us just to watch, and yeah, and then see how that works. Just let me know if you can be able to see the video. So this is the Copilot in Word. Yeah, we'll just look through this one, helping you to write, edit, summarize, and curate your words with yourself. Yeah.
Copilot in Microsoft 365 can help you unleash creativity at work. Imagine you need to create a rock-solid proposal to win the business, and you don't have time for writer's block. You can use Copilot to draft a proposal based on your customer notes in OneNote, as well as another internal document. Copilot scans the target files and gets to work, quickly generating the first draft with all key details from the files you provided. Now, let's say you want this to look like your previous proposals. Copilot can give you a draft in the format you typically use. It inserts product images and pulls in relevant visuals from other files. You can include a short summary at the top of the document. And Copilot can make suggestions to strengthen the proposal, like adding an FAQ, which it will generate for you to refine.
So guys, yeah, this is just, one of those examples. What does Copilot bring into you? Yeah, very professional. Just use your natural language and improve your writing, basically. So I've got some of these videos here. I'm not going to show all of them because of time, but yes, we have PowerPoint. We can do, have for Excel, all those links that I will also be sharing on the learning resources. But what I want us to dive down quickly is into a very big question when it comes to this topic. How does Microsoft 365 Copilots work? How do they work? Okay. So there's a bit of an explanation around this. So if you look at the diagram on the screen right there, yeah. So Copilot for Microsoft 365 is all about data, right? So it has to receive an input from a user. So it can be like from Word, you have to write something as you've seen on that screen, or PowerPoint, or Teams, or Excel. What then happens is if it receives an input, then you can see Copilot right there. So for example, like, there's an input that comes in, right? Then what happens then, the Copilot would then pre-process that input, yeah? But this approach is called grounding. So you look at the process, it will look at the inputs you've provided, yeah? It will look at improving that prompt in order to help you get your answers, also not just help you get your answers, but also help you get answers that are relevant and actionable to a specific task, yeah? So then it will go down into like looking at all the files and the text from your input files. It will just look around the whole, let's say we'll call it Microsoft Graph. Yeah. So this is where it looks at all your language models. Yeah. It processes it. It will, Copilot only will be able to access this data anyway, right? It will process it. It will take that response from your large language model, and then post-process it. So that's how this works, right? So there's a pre-processing and there's a post-processing that includes your Microsoft Graph, where it looks at your large language models and also checks things like, is that a responsible AI? Is there some security? Is there some compliance? Is there any privacy reviews that need to be looked at? And then when that happens, it will push it back and respond to your response. Yeah. So that's where you'll be able to see, yeah, I've typed in something, just go in and does all that, post it, and then you'll be able to review and assess the response as well. Yeah. a bit technical, yes, but there's a way it works. It doesn't just go in, push out. No, that's what I'm trying to make you understand here. There's a process to this. Okay. I've got also another diagram here, but it's just pretty much the same thing. But yeah, that's looking at all your apps, have all your responses from the user, and then pushes back that into files, looks at the large language models, processes it into Microsoft graph using, obviously the content that you've given, and then also pushes that back out to the user or the app. Okay. There's so many benefits of 365 Copilot. There's, as we've seen now, it's packed with a whole host of powerful capabilities, right? So you'll be able to transform the way we work, right? It can unlock, a lot of productivity. Okay, we can use it to up our skills. Just use it to make ourselves better. Yeah. So it can be an expert that we can use using natural language functionalities. It will be able to unlock a lot of functionalities for us. If we want to learn something step by step, quick guide, we can also use it. And that great thing of Microsoft 365 Copilot is also your creativity, yeah, unleashing a lot of things. If you want to write something, if you want to write an email, if you want to write a Word document, you might just have a block. You don't know where to start. You want to write a research, but this can actually unleash that creativity inside you and provide you with a template that you'll be able to work from. Okay. And then being Microsoft, there's a lot of integration. So integrate Word, PowerPoint, Excel, all the whole Microsoft stack as well. So you can leverage those capabilities and integrate it with other Microsoft 365 applications. I first mentioned about, how Copilot users, or from the first study when this first came out, they looked at, the early adoption. What are the percentages, right? So they did a survey. How are Copilot users, are they more productive? Of course they are, right? From the survey that Microsoft has done, they said 70% of Copilot users, yeah, are saying that they're more productive now. 68% of people have said it's improved a lot of their work. People are saying that it's more, faster for them to do their tasks, to do their searching, to do their writing, to do their summarizing. Just, yeah, there's a lot of percentages that are coming out from this, okay? And I would say, yeah, you're looking at those early adopters and the people that are using that now, or the number of people that are using Copilot now, obviously has increased a lot since then. It will also be a very good case study to look at now what Copilots will be saying around this. Yeah, but I know for a fact that within the area that I work in, it has improved productivity a lot. Nowadays, like my PowerPoints, like they look really slick because I can use Copilots to enhance them as well. Okay, just giving you all that whole scenario, but looking at Copilot for low code, which is like Power Platform, we have the Copilot Studio. We can customize our own Copilots. We can build our own Copilot experiences now. Yeah. So before Copilot for Studio, if you're familiar with Power Platform, I would say it's not the same, but yeah, there's a chatbot that we used to have called the Power Virtual Agents. So the functionalities and the capabilities now are part of Microsoft Copilot Studio. Yeah, there's a lot of investments. Microsoft has invested a lot into this, and they're also investing. Yes, and things like generative AI. There's lots of integrations. You can use plugins now for your Microsoft Studio. You can look into Power Automate. You can look into different plugins within your applications. Yeah, a lot of investments going. Yeah, we've been seeing this from 2019. AI has been coming in, advancement into local, gradually we've been seeing this trickling down. We can also see that has blown quite a lot now, and like I said, still growing. Next one I want to mention here is the Copilot mobile app. I mentioned, I think it would be quite a good time to actually dive Copilot in a sense. Let me just bring that up. Very nice. So now we have your Copilot in your web browsers. Formerly, like it's called Copilot Bing, I think, when it first came out. And now we have that now within Edge. We have that on Google and Chrome as well. So your everyday Copilot and your everyday AI companion is also in your browsers now, yeah, for free, right? So you can go in and ask any questions that you want to ask whatsoever. You can come in, add images, you can generate images, you can use your microphone to tell it to do something for you. But before that, you need to be able to choose a conversational kind of style that you want it to explore. So looking at, you want it to be a bit more creative, you want it to be a bit more precise, you want it to be a bit more balanced. Yeah, all these things mean, quite a few things as well. Yes, you don't have to have a Microsoft account in order to sign into Copilot. But if you want to have some improved features, say for example, images, you want it to be able to generate images for you, you need to be able to sign in. Yeah, sign in with your Microsoft account. You will get obviously better things like your recent activities, your plugins, like I just mentioned now. Yeah, you have more functionalities for conversation. You'll be able to enhance your searches. You can add, different applications into or integrations into the Copilots as well. Okay. So, for example, like I said, I think this is a bit more conversational. You're telling it or you're prompting it what you want it to do for you. Okay. But this is a bit of a better conversation for it. So you can see, yeah, you can now start choosing. Can you add flag? Can you make it bigger? Can you add text? But yes, this are the kind of things like, yeah, the Copilot can do for you, So you can see we generated that image for you, not just image, like I said, you can speak to it. You can use your microphone just to say that. You can also just, type that in for yourself as a text as well. Just an idea of what it can give. You can see using that. There's lots of things, obviously, like you can ask, you can obviously upload documentations as well using Microsoft Studio Copilot, but we'll see that in a bit. Okay. So going back to my Microsoft mobile app, so you can have this also on your phone. So for myself, I've got that on my phone now. I'm using an Android phone, but I've also downloaded that. It's free. I didn't go for the Pro. If you can see that here, like you can see, I've got my Copilot. So if you've got Android, you can use iOS. You can also download that, yeah, for your everyday AI companion. You can use voice, integrated technology. You can type, and also you can upload images as well. Yeah. So let's move on. So now we also have, this is also another video around Copilot, but I also dropped that in on the learning resources that I'm going to be sharing with you. Yes. But now Microsoft also announced quite recently, last month, 15th January to be precise, that they are also going to be providing what they call the Copilot Pro. Yeah. So Copilot Pro is now an enhanced version of what you've just seen, right? It's not free. It's £20, $20 per user per month, just like your advanced ChatGPT that you pay for. You still have the free version, but you can also pay for the Pro version. Yeah. So what the Pro provides is a single AI experience. You can use it alongside your devices, your web, your PC, your tablets, and also your phone. Yeah. You have access to Copilot, so you can use Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote. All that is also integrated with it. You can use iPad, you can use Mac for your Microsoft 365 personal and family subscribers. Okay. So it's just like more of an enhanced Copilot. Yeah. So you have that ability to build also your own Copilot GPT. Yeah, you have the ability to build that, and also you can also set your own prompts as well. Okay. So that's just the difference. Yeah. There's also a video for that. Sorry, I'm just duplicating this. So when it comes to the low code for AI, there are lots of enhancements that Microsoft has provided for us. We're now being able to use natural language for our copilots, so you can actually just build your apps using natural language. I also run a demo for them to show you exactly how you can actually do that. I'm also looking at the time, just show you kind of like a few demos around low code Power Platform areas where, yeah, copilots are being used. Okay. So if I go back to this, just bear with me. So if, for example, if I go into my makethepowerapps.com, and what I would like to do, or what I'd like to show you, is that ability to be able to build or curate our own, Canvas app, for example, yeah, just using AI, yeah. So how do we, or how can we be able to do that, for example, yeah? So you can either do that, so we know how you can come in here, you want to be able to create an app, yeah. You can upload an app from a file, for example. You can just go in there and download those files. Yes, that's fine. We're going to my, sorry. So I've already have a Excel file that I can just load and just create my app straight up from there. Yeah, I can do that. And then from there, I'll be able to create an app from there. So just creating an app, it will run and curate a Canvas app that can now start tailoring. This is just uploading an app. I'm sorry, uploading an Excel file into Power Apps. Yeah. But yeah, this is building out an app. But what I would really love to show you is how we can now use conversational language within Power Apps, for example. Yeah. If we can go in here, just go in here. Let's go into your tree view. And why is it not selecting the components? All right, let's go there. Sometimes you just need to refresh it, right? Yeah, sometimes you just need a little bit of push, just a little bit of refresh. So yeah, from here you can obviously start making modifications to your Canvas app and building out from there. But what I wanted to just to show you is that we can see that table is our real estate table. We uploaded that from an Excel file. Okay, But now I'm not going to go through like, that. But I want to show you is that we can actually build an app just using everyday words, just using a conversational language to build an application. Okay. So this is also now where Copilot AI can just generate a table. You can prompt it to what you want it to do. You'll start creating a table with columns and forms and things like that. Okay. So for example, I'll look at this and say, okay, yeah, I want to build an app. Yeah. I want to manage my real estate business, right? So I'll go in and say, okay, yeah, can you just build an app conversational language to manage real estate? Yeah, just want to manage people that will be able to come in and now be able to show them properties. So I want to be able to do that. So all you need to do, write that on and then just click on go. It will go this is Dataverse, right? So it will go and curate a table showing your real estate showings. Yeah, you can also come in here. You can edit your table properties just by clicking on that icon there. Sorry, click on that and curate that. So real estate, build an app to manage real estate showings, right? So this is the table that is provided for me. Okay. So now I want to be able to tell it to do things for me, right? So I want to create, maybe this is not enough. This is not what I need. What about the client names? What about the client's email address? Yeah. So I want to be able to, on the right-hand side, you can see where it says Copilot. You can be able to describe what you want to be changed or what you want this table to do for you. So at the moment, I want it to add a column to track the client's full names. Yeah? I want to be able to have names to this table. So you can just go in and click on that. It will go and generate those clients' full names. So if you look on my table now, you see that I have a column that says client's full name. Yeah. So it also notify you whenever your table has been updated, it will tell you that. So it's basically conversational, like I said. Yeah. I have the client's full name. Also, I want it to be able to add a column to track my client's emails. Okay. Conversational. It will go off and curate that column in the table for me. So if I just click on the right-hand side, you will see that I've also got like a client's email. Yeah. So it's gone off and curated that column for us. If you look at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, there's so many suggestions the AI has, can suggest. The Copilot AI, you can suggest, things like add a column, add a row, remove, just some suggestions for you, which you can use. Okay. Another thing that we can also do is, just be able to tell it to add an option like we're saying, for a particular column, remove this, add this, and delete this. You can actually delete the entire table. Okay. You can also do that for us, for the app. Conversationally, you can just go in and say, can you add an option for completed to my status? So you want to create a status column and have an option for that says completed. So you see, got a status that has, some, it's AI. It kind of like, knows, okay, yeah, what is it that you want? Is it that is required, is scheduled, is completed, yeah? But there might be other things that you want to add to this status column, yeah? In Dynamics Power Platform, we call this an option set or a choice column. So you can also add things like pending, cancelled, confirmed, things like that. You don't have to go and start doing that because you can just tell the conversational bot that, this is what you want. This is the status choices that you want. Just do that for me. The choices you want pending, confirmed, cancelled, and completed. And you can also it will just go and drive that for you. I hope you guys are following.
Sure, Chime.
Yeah.
We are
So
following.
yeah,
Yes, we are.
things like this, you can use it to say, for example, yeah, you generated this, but you know what? I don't need the property ID. I don't need agent ID. I don't need the client ID. Conversational. Yeah, you can also remove property ID, client ID as an example. Just remove that. And you can see it will just go off and remove that for you as well. Yeah, just taking those off. You might say, for example, as a demo, yes, can you add 10 rows? You know, can you add more data to your table? Of course, yes, it can do. It's conversational. Add 10 rows of data. Add 10 rows of data. We have 5 here, 10, we'll make it 15. You'll see it will just go in and show more data. Yeah, 10 rows. 10 rows of data. Just added 10, I guess. But you can see AI has generated content for you. Yeah. So that's also how, you know, this works. You can now go in ahead and say, okay, yeah, I've built my table, I've added columns, I've removed what I don't need. I can just go ahead and curate and add from there. Okay. When you're building your apps, it's also usually in an edit mode. And from here, yes, you've created, the Copilot has helped you to create a Dataverse table. Okay. But you can also now look at, obviously, like making some modifications to your Canvas app, changing the look and feel of your app. Okay. But that's just another way to kind of like, you know, speed up, you know, things that you want to do within an application. Yeah. Things like, you know, the columns, the type of, whether the data is business required or not. If you want to be able to kind of like, you know, add ideas. Ideas is also another area where you can actually tell the app what you want to do. Yeah. So if you have a particular type of formats you want the app to be in, you can actually add examples of that format. If it's a currency, for example, is in pound sterling, you want to change that currency to US dollars, you can also just use ideas. It's just generative AI. Just tell it, for example, this is what I want, and it will do that for you. I've got some exercises as well that you can take away from after this session. That is also included in the learning resource that can just help you, you know, kind of like, you know, get hands-on how to do some of these things, how to be able to, you know, change like, you know, the views within a Canvas application, and also the types of columns that you might have. Okay, how do you even get into saving an application after you built it? How do you save that? Yeah, because of time limitations here, I also want to quickly show you another Copilot that we have in low-code Power Platform, which is our Power Automate. So Power Automate is the ability to automate processes. In this case, I can say, for example, I want to create an approval. This is my Power Automate Studio. So I can go ahead and create automations. So for example, as mentioned, all those mundane tasks that we do, right? Copilot in Power Automate is an example. It can help us automate our tedious tasks and save time, basically. You want to be able to be productive. You want to be able to be efficient. And these things are quite user-friendly. Yeah, this is the homepage for your Copilot Studio. I can go in and say, for example, generate conversational. What do I want, right? I've got a Dataverse record. All these records, all the data is on Dataverse. So I can just go in and say, for example, what do I want to automate? What is it that I want? Okay, I want to request an approval. So whenever I curate, say, for example, you see the table that we curated. the real estate table, I want to say, for example, if anything changes, right? I want to be able to request an approval from my real estate agent manager. Yeah. And within that approval, I want the agent to approve or reject the request. It can be change of email address of the client. It can be the client's telephone number has changed, something. But I want an agent, to approve or reject that. So thinking about this, there's a lot of suggestions that it can give you as well. You can say, for example, requests approval when a dataverse record is curated. Yeah, create a dataverse record. Okay, what happens? Lots of suggestions as well. It can give you, send an email from SharePoint list, everyday email, remove items in the SharePoint list. We use SharePoint and our business use that on a day-to-day basis. They remove the back, what happens? How can you automate that process? So from here, you can say request and approval. You can just click on generate. And what happens now? It will start building your flow with Copilot. So you've prompted it. So Copilot is suggesting, okay, yeah, within your suggestion, this is probably what we can do. It has to be a trigger. What has happened? Request approval when a Dataverse record is curated. So yes, there's a connector, Microsoft Dataverse connector within Power Automate for when a row is created, modified, or deleted. It makes sense. If I change an email, if I create a new client record, I want an approval process to run automatically. Okay. So I've looked at the suggested flow. It makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, flow starts. What action do I want when the trigger happens? And I'll be like, okay, fine, fair enough. And I want to use that. So within Power Automate, we have what we call connected applications or services. So for example, Dataverse or approvals, it has to be connected. I'm using a Microsoft 365 developer plan for this demo. So yes, I do have Microsoft Dataverse connector, and also do have approvals connector in here. Yeah. So it's connected. Yeah. If there's no green check, yes, just make sure that everything is connected, and voila, you just build or create your flow. The flow automatically is not going to know what table that you're looking up to. It just says when a row is added, modified, or deleted. You can also edit this. You can also say when my property, or my property, I can't remember what that table is called now. But yeah, when that table is changed or curated, you can give it a name. Yeah, it doesn't have to be this. You can say what happens is it when it's added, modified, or deleted, do you want to notify? But it makes sense saying added or modified, or maybe even deleted. You want the agent to know. What table that is, you can also choose that. So you have different tables, right, within Microsoft Dataverse. So whether it's your out of the box table, or maybe it can be a custom table like we just created back there. So it can be a property. Sorry, I'm just trying to think about what that table is called now. It should be there. Real estate, isn't it? Sorry. Something to do with real estate. But I hope you guys get the picture. Yeah, obviously this is a demo. Real estate property, real estate showings, things like that. But yeah, just make sure you select that table where those values or attributes will exist. Yeah. So that's it. So it's, that's been done. But then what I also want to show you is that you can see there's a Copilot on the right-hand side, navigation here. You can see what do you want to do when a row is added or created, like, start off with approvals. Do you want to add any question to basically what has been described? Do you want to change it? But this is a pretty much straightforward Power Automate flow, right? So when that is being added, modified, or deleted within that table, you want to start an approval process. What type of process or what type of approval do you want that to be? Also depends. Okay, there are different types of approval, but what you select will matter what type of approval it is. But yeah, simple case, I want an agent to approve or reject, first to respond. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right, so this is my approval. I've also got obviously like the title. You have to give it a title because it's a mandatory field. That a title can be anything. New requests for real estate showing makes a lot of sense. Okay, we can say new requests, something like that. Yeah. Yes, you can also see assigned. That is also an email address. So within that client, if you remember, clients had an email address that we added to that table. We can also use dynamically, we can also bring data from the table, right? So we can just look at, sorry, if you click, let me go back. So this is, if you want to enter data from the previous step. So we look at the real estate showings. And I think with there, had like a client email address. You can also pull data from there. Yeah. So dynamically, you can click on that, see for more, and clients, email address. I think that's probably what we'll call it. I don't know what I saved that, but I hope you guys get the picture. But yeah, should be an email address. Yeah. I don't think I saved that email address. Sorry, guys. But yeah, something like that. Email address. Where is an email address here? So dynamically, I want to pull from that table an email address. Okay. So just go back in there, but we can just put a value in. Yeah. But dynamic can bring about a value. So another thing that we also look at as well is the details. So there's markdowns that we can use. So within Power Automate, using parameters that we can use, markdowns for there. We can say, for example, what details you now want to be as an on that approval, right? So what type of markdowns are supported is pretty much, flexible or simple, should I say. So you're trying to dynamically also bring in elements from Dataverse. So you can also just dynamically bring that. And then when the model is changing, what property is it? What kind of things do you want to do? Is it the property address, for example? You can also say details of that property. You can go in and type in address. There's so many things I'm not showing. I think I'm showing the wrong table. That's why some things are missing here. Yeah, sorry guys, but if you get the picture, yeah, it's all I'm trying to show you. It's not showing you what Power Automate can do for you, but basically how you can use, the power of Copilots, AI conversational, and bringing data into your Power Automate flows. Okay, that's actually like the main thing I'm trying to show here. There's also links to learning resources where you can also get some of this. I will include that so you can actually just try yourself and get these things done as well.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just looking at the time, guys. Let's that's Power Automate. Yeah, we've seen that, how we can transform natural languages. But another good one for us to finalize is looking at the Copilot Studio, right? I mentioned this before. It's AI assistance. You can create your own chatbots. Yeah. So it's your AI for everyone. Microsoft has made it possible that users can go in and create their own customized Copilots just using natural language. Yeah. So it's not going to take 2 minutes just to be that this demo, and this be our last demo for this session as well.
Okay.
So if I quickly go back into this as well, and I can just go into copilotstudio.microsoft. So that's the address. You can do a free trial. I'm using a free trial for Copilot Studio. So you can just go in and say, for example, I want to be able to create my own Copilot. Okay. And it'll give you a list of, names, choose your name. What name do you want to call the Copilot? I would say, for example, we'll be using real estate. I'll go in and call it a real estate booking service. What language? There's different languages that you can select, but we'll leave it at English. You can also type in, if you know any real estate, websites, you can also type that in, for example. But yeah, you can also use, in this particular case, I'm going to use Ministry of Health of Ghana, for example.
Okay.
And I'll just go in at that Copilot and say, yeah, there's generative AI. Let's look at that website. Yeah. And you hit on create. Take some time, but I shouldn't take any time. If it's the first time you're creating a Copilot, it'll probably take some time. But if you created Copilots before, it's quite fast. Okay. So the whole purpose of this is that you can go in and as a user and ask, a question relating to the Ministry of Health of Ghana.
Okay.
So who is the leadership, for example, or name the leadership, or any event, any press, anything on the website it will go and look into that. Okay. What is the health finance strategy, for example? If this is a PDF document, it can also just go in and look into that documentation. Yeah. So if you look at this, we can say yes, we do have a website for generative answers. We can also manage generative AI by going into uploading, for example, files, Word, Excel, things like that. You can also just go in and add other publications, for example. So this is a PDF. That's why it's not taking it, but I do have one already. And if I click on browse, I've saved on my file. I can just go in and also, it's not that, is it? No. I can download this one, for example, and the finance strategy for Ministry of Health in Ghana. I can click on browse, click on there, and also bring that into my Copilot.
Okay.
So we have this here, but we then just about boosting your conversations with generative AI, for example. You can just go in, add topics and things like that. We have different plugins, like I said, that you can bring in as well, and it will look into all this. Yeah, but just as a simple test, okay, you can just go in and say, if I look at generative AI, for example, I have a test. I want to be able to test my Copilot that I've just loaded in the Ministry of Health for Ghana. I've loaded in some publications. I can just say, you can change all this, right?
Okay.
Hello,
okay.
I'm a real estate service, but you can just say, please summarize the document for me. Please summarize, something like that, okay? So you're just telling the bot to summarize. If you know that PDF itself, you can also ask questions relating to the website or to the PDF. Okay, it's not understanding it. I don't understand why. Did I say it? Okay, so if we go and say, please summarize the health documents. It's not understanding that.
It's understanding it. Yeah.
It's a test, isn't it? So why should I'm not doing anything with topics. We're just looking at generative AI on its own. We have that as well. Sometimes it takes some time. I probably need to refresh. So the whole concept around this is you've got your data. You want to be able to test the Copilot, okay? Don't know why it's not
It's
doing that.
still unmuted.
Yeah, so let's say there are a few answers. So looking at the content, right? More answers were response may be relevant. Inaccuracies, fewer answers, yes. Okay, so if, for example, we go in the website itself and say summarize, is a document, right? So you can't really say summarize. Lists agencies, for example, lists health agencies. So you can see, yeah, you just need to like give it some time.
Okay.
The answers are not always going to be accurate, but you can see here are some health agencies in Ghana. So he's gone into that website, and that's the same thing that you can also just go on. For example, I just want to show you, summarize the health finance strategy document. So a whole PDF document, you can say, summarize it, right? In just a few words. So at the same time, it's not just only summarizing it, it's also giving you citations.
Sure.
Say, for example, references, like where it got that, those words from the documentation. It also gives you, and then with those references, you can click on it and you can see a wider, you can see more words of that documentation. So there's citations in here, but just to close this off, yeah, you can create your own Copilot, your own bot. That's what we call it. But also not just curating it, you have different channels where you can also publish these bots. Like, for example, most websites you see, like, they have their own bots, answering questions on the right-hand corner of the website. But here you can actually post your bot to Teams. You can interact with or collaborate with your colleagues and your users within Teams. You can also try it out on the demo website. You can create on console website. If you're using mobile applications, like customized ones, you can put it on there. Microsoft is continuously improving like these channels. So these are the channels that you can, test these bots on as well. Okay. So creating your own bot using generative AI, you can just go in and, publish it to a particular channel. There's analytics also behind them. So like a summary, this is a Power BI that is embedded into Copilot Studio. You can also get some data, things like your customer satisfaction, like, where are those points? Where are your contacts or where are your users? Where are they clicking? What topics are they always, asking questions about? How is the bot interacting with your documentation and things like that, with your topics? You create your own topics. You can use Copilot to also curate topics as well. So creating your own topics is, for example, you know what you want. So you've done your requirements, you've done your analysis. If from blank, you can upload your topics. But here with Copilot Studio, you can just curate topics from the description. Yeah. Just go in and curate a description. I want to be able to book a real estate showing, for example, things like that. Curate a topic. So what topic do you want? You can create the user's name. You can create. So for anybody that wants to come and see a property, I'll have their name, their address, property, day and time. I'm not going to go into that. I know it's like some time now, but guys, just feel free, ask any questions. I will close up the session now. So Frederick, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you very much. I'm sure from FS and is there any question for Chine?
Yes, we have about 3 questions from our participants on WhatsApp. I think there are more than 3, but I'll just give you the 3 that seem quite simple so that we can go over them quickly. So the first one, the person was asking, how does Microsoft Copilot differ from the other AI-driven tools available in the market? So they want to know why they should opt for Copilot when there are other options.
I mean, there's
would you like to? Okay, so we take it one at a time.
Yeah, let's take it one at a time. Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, this is about AI revolution or digital transformation happening right now. I would say, why would you use a Microsoft Copilot Studio? There's lots of benefit for it. Is the integration with the Microsoft stack is already there. They're offering things like if you're using Power Platform, low code, you can use your plugins, you can use Power Automate, you can use your flows and use that within the Copilot itself, right? I'm not going to say, yes, there's a better one than the other, but the way Microsoft is pushing this, the way Microsoft is going for this, it's quite big. So there's a lot of things to expect from here. And I think it's an industry that is obviously still growing, or a technology, will I say, that is still growing. So there's lots of investment that Microsoft has, put in here.
Yeah. And
Okay, thank you. I think this
maybe
answers one of the questions.
Okay, so maybe just to add to that, you know that currently a lot of people use Microsoft products, and the Copilot automatically synchronize all PowerPoint, Excel, Word, Power App. So then it becomes easy go-to app to use. Rather than maybe going for a third party, now you're going to do the integration with the Microsoft application. So then it gives the advantage. If I'm using Word, if I'm using PowerPoint, which in almost every industry, they use the Word document, they use the Excel, they use the PowerPoint basics, they use it. So then it becomes easy for you to use the Copilot to assist. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I was saying that there was another question on how you can integrate the Microsoft Copilot with the existing MS products. So I think your response answers that one. I'll skip to the next question, with asking how accessible the software is for users who have varying levels of technical expertise. So as someone like me who is not very good with tech, is it easily accessible to me? Can I use it very easily? And yeah.
So I'll let you answer that one.
Oh, okay, okay. So yes, at every level, at least you can use a Microsoft Copilot. As you are saying, maybe you are not deep into tech, but at least you use Word document. You can use a Copilot to really help you put up your proposals, put up your documents. Even if you have to use a PowerPoint slide, you can use a Copilot. Give Copilot the kind of presentation you're going to do, and it can put up everything for you. All that you have to do is just do a little bit of changes. So it's not for, I won't say it's for very high tech people, maybe at the level where Chime is. As simple as just using Word, Excel, PowerPoint, you will be able to use the Copilot. Even with the browser, if you are using Edge, you can use the Copilot as Chime demonstrated. Sometimes you want some pictures, you can use a Copilot to do that. So, you can use a Copilot to generate some pictures for you, which you can now then input it into your slides. So it's very powerful. You saw what he did with the African Cup final, which is coming up. Yeah. so yeah, so it's not for high tech. It's a very simple tool, which as he explained, it's an assistant to help us to be more effective in what we do. That's the whole idea of Copilot. And it's better for everybody to hook onto it so that you become more efficient. It's not like it's taking your job away or it's making you lazy, but it's making you be more efficient. Work you might spend a whole week doing, you can just spend a day or less to do it with the help of Copilot. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's a relief because I downloaded the app during the session. I was just wondering, hey, how am I going to use this app? Okay. So there's another question about whether it supports collaboration among team members who are working on the same project. I don't know if he already touched on that.
Yeah, I will go on that. Yes, it does. Like I said, you can share it. So this is when it comes to, for example, channels. So if you've published your bots, Microsoft Studio, Copilot Studio, you can also use it on Teams, and then it becomes collaborative within your colleagues. You can use it. If it's for the Microsoft 365 Copilot, we also have Copilots, Microsoft 365 Copilots for Teams. So you can also embed that in Microsoft Teams as well.
Okay, so one final question. I think there's a question on whether we offer training for how to use Microsoft Copilot, and are there any security considerations we should be aware of? So training or certification, and then security considerations. I think Fred could take a portion, and then Chime could do the others.
Okay, so when it comes up with training, when you visit the Microsoft Learn platform, there are some trainings on how to use the Copilot. If you really want to get certification, currently maybe I'm not sure they have come out with a specific certification concerning Copilot, not yet, but there are some documents there where you can read about Copilot, how to use it. But in terms of certification, no. But if you want to learn, there are a lot of we are available. We can help you, assist you to learn. As I said, it's a learning community. So for the user group, you can get in touch and we'll be able to assist you to on how to use a Copilot efficiently. So that's what I want. So maybe
I'll also add, yeah, thanks, Frederick. I'll also add, even though there's no particular certification route for Microsoft Copilot, but when we look at the low-code space, Power Platform, we also have like the PL 900 certification. So these are like, fundamentals around, your Power Automate, your Microsoft Studio Copilot, and your Power Apps, whether it's Canvas or model-driven, like, that can also give you an added advantage if you hold that certification as well, or if you walk towards that certification.
Sure.
Awesome, thank you. So that's it from my end.
Okay, so I don't know, maybe if there's anybody online who would like to come, I mean, you can unmute, and if you have any question directly, if not, then we'll bring the session to an end. Maybe just a minute. If anybody have a question he wants to put directly, the person can unmute and ask the question. Okay, I guess it might have been answered through the chat. So if not, we'll bring the meeting to an end. We'd like to thank everybody who really attended the meetup today, and we are very grateful, Chime Okure. And this will not be the last time. We always call on you in your expertise to assist us, yes, because it's a learning group and we really want to grow the community down here in Ghana. And you should know that it is really a meetup group in Ghana. That's the DAG Meetup Ghana. It's a local community group, and the main idea is to upskill in Microsoft Dynamics 365, Power Platform, Microsoft 365, and others. So we'll be inviting more people with the expertise to teach us, for us to also learn in the space of Microsoft tools. So thank you very much. And note that our meeting will not only be online, we're also arranging for an in-person meetup in our Q2 session. So please look out for that also. Thank you very much. If there's no question, then I guess over to you if we can do the info. Yeah.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Chime. This was very insightful. I'm not a very techie person, but I think I picked up one or two things that I could use. And I'm going to download the app and I'll reach out to you both if I'm struggling with it. Thank you to everybody who joined us today. I've received a few comments, good comments from you. And we hope that you join the community. We are looking forward to our next webinar, to your participation. Stay with us. Let's engage, and then let's work together on all these apps. Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
And talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Chime. Yeah, and we are praying that Nigeria wins.
Yeah.
Oh, we are supporting Ivory Coast. So Chime, it's me against you this evening.
I don't know who is supporting Nigeria, but we are not.
Oh no! I'm supporting Nigeria.
No,
All right, we'll see.